Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Train Simulator. My name is Emily. This is a cinema I made a little while ago. This is 12043, the 800 stand up to Edinburgh service. This is a rail tour that ran, part of the Class 43 Preservation Society, hence got this logo on the front. It is the 43-200 in her, so from BLS, and on the back, we've got Rio Warrior 43159. Really quick cab prep. GRA comes off. We'll get the GSMR. Actually, we'll do our headlights. And then we'll get the GSMR. We said 1 Zulu 43036. There we go. We'll charge the brake pipe. And that'll take a few seconds to come off. Reverse will go forward and we'll move off. Notch 3 for a pull away in the HST. So in this one, we take what is a pretty strange little route. So we're going to go from here at Bishop Auckland down to Darlington, across to Eagles Cliff, and then instead of following the northern route into Middlesbrough, we go north and then turn left at Stockton, which takes us over the freight-only line between sort of Stockton and Ferry Hill, which I believe is part of the original alignment of Stockton and Darlington Railway, which is pretty cool. We hear the engine there. Loving MTU. So that's Bishop Auckland West. This is Bishop Auckland Station. Just checking my speed. I'm fine for now. Hello, everyone. Goodbye. No, that engine rev back first. That's fine. I'm basically just waiting for this to pass and we go up to 45. Also, for sheer auto crap, we can do that. We can also just do that and leave the window open. Sadly, it doesn't simulate on the external model, but internally. Just notice this doesn't have the openable window on the external model. That's fun. Anyway, I'm going notch 4, notch 5. There is an incline up here to a tunnel, which is Princess Someone's Tunnel. See the tunnel before Shildon. Shildon is our first stop today as well, so you can remember to stop there. I'll see it and I'll stop, but yeah. But this is quite an easy branch line to learn. It's 45 most of the way. You've got stops of Bishop Auckland, Shildon, Aycliffe, Hayington Aycliffe, North Road, and Darlow to learn this side of it. Lovely little jointed track sounds there. So when you sing the fault right there, that means I'm taking power too long after I chop power and the engine hasn't revved back down yet. Looks gorgeous going this incline. Interestingly, on this tour, 43-200, 4060, as it's properly known as, the sticker on the outside is 43-200 for obvious reasons. But yeah, I've actually seen this set in real life. Had a pretty special little experience actually. So it was the end of the Greatest Gathering, and I had a little roundabout. I'm standing there between the two rail adventure power cars, and that will couple back to back. So I can hear them tick, 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 and they'll park next to this. And I hear this ticking away to itself as well. Spirax going, and it was. It was one of those moments when you realise how special, like, your job is, because that is a sound that thousands of people have heard, right? Like thousands of train crew or people on stations have heard the sort of tick, 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 tick. And it's just been part of the background noise. But now that's a really rare thing to have, like all three of them ticking away together. I'm going to shut off because I believe it's 25 coming out this. I'm just turning this on because with the instrument lights on, you can't see the dials. Or you can see the dial, sorry, but you can't see the needle on the dial. I can see it a little bit now, actually. With the, I love that instrument like that. It's very atmospheric. The level of light I'm getting with that. Obviously, just there for my timetable and stuff. But yeah, honestly, it just felt very atmospheric. I don't have the timings plumbed in, but you can see going all the way around to Eagles Cliff, and the snow actually ends on the chord at Stockton. You don't realise how far away that actually is. Like, in my head, it's maybe 10-15 miles. Certainly not 25. Let the brakes catch on, brake off. Go. I'm going to put the paddle car just off the end of the platform. We can still got the proceed aspect, so we'll just to give more platforms in, but also driving right. Brake pipes off, but look how long the cylinder pressure is taking to release. So we're not going to get the full thing platformed. I put the power car at the end. How does that sound? There we go. Right up against it. It's got ourselves and then right on the right. So you've got quite a bit of a platform actually. You could probably. Thing is, if we stuck the power car off the end, this door would work, but this wouldn't. So still the back four coaches would not be platformed. But the forward one, two, three, half the train will be platformed if I stuck the power car off the end. It's just this signal position. Like, I don't want to stop past the signal because then it makes dispatching weird and wacky. But obviously in real life, see, we got there 20 seconds early and we've got 2 minutes in the station. Really quickly as well. When you leave Stockton Station, you arrive onto this platform if you're coming from Darlow. And this is Locomotion, the branch location for the NRM. They've also got, not included in here, but they've got the new shed, whatever it's called, which is basically like a really big shed for freight wagons, which is pretty fun. But anyway, we are just, because I've got the hood up just purely for our own timekeeping. Like I said, do love this livery, 43-200. I'm presuming it's going to, after the end of the year, going to go into a, this power car's going to go into a GNER livery, I'm presuming. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. I'm just going to fast forward time a bit. Thanks. Let's go. Remember, start speed limit is 30 miles an hour. as we run the Pascal commercial. Say hello to our friends. So there's 43, a couple 43s in there basically. There's Journey Shrinker, which is the basically real Lorry's Mara for the record run. So the record run that makes them the fastest diesel locomotives. One of them's in there, and the other one's is this one right here. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, and you've also got the HST prototype as well. I keep checking paranoia, so I've got some stuff outside waiting to dry, and it's already been rained on once today. And I don't want that to be twice. To 45 now. Go full power. Do you know what? Turn they're not maintaining it properly and they're getting lots of clank. No, that did absolutely nothing anyway. That's 40. Crap. Oops. I chopped that a bit hard. I do enjoy the sounds these make. They make very fun sounds. Like, and do do. What we'll do is we've still got 43159's horn on this specific locomotive, and we'll go to which 43159 is this one right here. So we'll say transplant the horns in case the horn was faulty or something. I don't know or care. So I want horn factor 5. Oh, that's what we had. Well, that's 6. Well, actually, 3. That's the sound I just don't like. I just use Eggman to get people's attention. Just pump. So that's one of the features of the AP HSTs is horn factor. So horn factor 1 was recorded for 43.0 common. Factor 2 was 43.082 at the Great Central Railway. Factor 3 was 467. So you can hear there is a... Oh no, I like that one. That is iconically HST to me. But basically, because of the amount of... Yeah, as it's the case with older ones, so every horn tends to sound different between power cars. To simulate this, we've provided 6 horn variations under the guise of horn factor. Normally, upon loading a scenario, a power car will be randomly allocated one of these horns. However, we are unsure of the nature of 43 horns change at some point between placement of Valenta, and most can become less punchy from the outside. As a result, only horn factor 1 is 43 for off for the Valenta error. Fair enough. Basically, we're choosing it because we're MTUs, though. That, by the way, was... No, that wasn't anything. That was a curve. So you can see where we are. No, it was. That was Newton Aycliffe. So this is the Hitachi site, Merchant Park. This is where the Hitachis, or Hitachi 800s and 385s are built and receive major attention. I think 385s are technically done in Japan, but like they've been down here for attention. And 800s and 803s were built here. So 800, 801s, 802s were built in Italy, I believe. But yeah, it just gives a nice basic representation of the site. There are points that people will go up on probably here to get photos into the site. And there's some from like this site somewhere. Don't know why. Feels like sort of this farmer's field. No. Here probably, like this sort of angle. I don't know. I've not really looked enough recently because they're not really doing that much right now. And this is of course Hayington Station. Hayington. I remember Hatington from the Weird Al network because I was always like starting out and moving off. Oh, hello. Hello, headlights even. Headlights disappeared there. Apologies for that. We went over a bump and it knocked a fuse out. I'm just saying. And you can see this is the access to the Hitachi test track. So basically, if they need to like put a, basically they've got obviously knitting up here, but it only extends onto the test track. It doesn't come on the main line. So the 801s and 803s have to be dragged with a code from here to Darlington and back. Basically, when like they were testing the 803s overnight, they'd get pulled out to Darlington by a 66 or a 69. Uncoupled 66 would go up a siding somewhere. They'd do the testing. 66 would go back on the front to talk like to the works the next day. Just going to leave it in notch 1 for now. Oh Christ. Got a bit carried away there. It is like tickety tack. Tickety tack is quite relaxing, isn't it? We've got a little while until we slow down. Slow down from just one North Road. You drive down to 20 for that curve. But then also we'll probably get checked before we go into Darlow. Basically, unless I'm driving incredibly slowly. So we go down to different platform. I actually was thinking the other day. I've done all the platforms at Darlington except 2 and 3. So I've done all the options for the platforms. No, actually, so I've done all the routes for like all the tracks in Darlington. So I've done. Well, I'm sure we'll get there, but yeah, I've done them all, including the one going in today, which is pretty abnormal. Moo cows. Got some rails. Scrap rails. We're just rumbling along. It's tickety tackety, tickety tackety, tickety tackety. Uh-oh, get away from me. Let's try to stab some brake in. And we can really start slowing down towards that 25. Actually, I thought it was 25 now. 25. Not to 20, good. So I'll pull the brake off at 25. Should have You can see how the rate of deceleration change, which is really interesting. Like, it's not linear, and I quite enjoy that bit of the scripting. So just use pull by power, which is notch 3. Drag us around the curve. So yeah, other landmarks. That's the Darlington Local Works. So that is where Tornado was built. No, sorry, Darlington Local Works. Palogies is over there. I believe actually they moved to a site over there. So basically, Tornado was built over there, I believe. Yeah, where that Mark 1 is. You've got that little length of track. That's where they built Tornado, and there's 37 parks outside that, I think. Basically, they moved one way, can't remember which way. But this obviously is Darling North Road. There is the Hopertown Museum here, which I understand that they say Darlington is Hopertown, but it's just a weird name for a museum, in my opinion. It's reset, single amber, right ahead, 35 limit. Since we've got the single amber, I'm not accelerating much. Put notch 1 on. Yeah, we'll so put our head out the window, basically. Oh, look, there's a 25. How hilarious. 125 was actually, like, in my head, the bit that speed existed, I'm not going to lie, but it was like 25 was a good speed to go out around here. Because it's a really tight curve, and I know, I mean, you can see that, oh, which doesn't affect the icon there. I know on the old, just trains version of this route, you could literally make the 153 fall over. Is it the East Coast Main Line? There's our signal track. So we've got a train coming past us on the right, on the left, sorry. What we'll do is we'll bring the train to a stand, secure it in position, and jump up onto the bridge to watch proceedings. Now you hear that? That's a zoomer. Oh no, it's the cooling fans. Awkward. The zoomer's not started moving yet. The cooler's in there kicking on. What we'll do, I'm going to fast forward time ever so slightly until I see him starting to move. There we go. Oh look, there's a northbound train coming through as well. It is a Saturday, so I think this is one of the first northbounds off London. Got a southbound and Together's coming northbound as well. I'm a big fan of the Together train. Like this livery, when it comes past you, because it's all the liveries at window height, you get just this massive splash of colour. Also, a fun little fact for you. This here is Coach K. Now, Coach K is the composite coach. This half of it is first class. Go through the doors, this half is standard, right? So this is, and it's the bisexual track. Like, so this is an absolute coincidence as far as I'm aware. But the bisexual coach accepts both kinds of tickets. And we've got the platform form. That HST, that we take 4, and then we cross over. But this route that we're taking into platform 4, I've taken in real life before. So there was an incident when obviously currently Darlington Station is under development, redevelopment. Oh, well, no, there's development going on, where basically they've taken out a chunk of the roof here, and this is no longer a car park. This is now another part of the station. The car park's now over here, and it's a multi-story. Basically, this is part of the new Darlington Station. So there's 2 or 3 new platforms, and it basically decongests things a bit because there's going to be fast services coming through as part of the new timetables, so they can come to the middle. But obviously, at the moment, to go into Darlow, you've got to swing over from the left to the right, and go up and basically cross over the downline if you're going in the other direction. Now, that's obviously reduces capacity, so basically they're putting the new platforms in over the other side. It's just going to be a massive station. It's a pretty cool station at the moment, a pretty big station, but it's going to be just massive. Little jiggle of power in. I mean, technically 25 for us still here, and we could be swinging at platform 1. But obviously we're going path to take 4. And take this slightly abnormal routing, which, like I said, I've done it in real life, because basically when they're doing the development work, this wonderful string of emails came in about 3 in the morning. Basically, the ECO, the electrical control operator, well, I think that's what the title is, but basically it's the person who isn't in charge of like emergency discharge of the power and stuff, reported that they'd lost this grid here, like that section there. And basically after I stated stuff, they've realised some contractors had driven a forklift truck into the overhead wires. How they hadn't killed themselves, no one's actually quite sure. Because that is how you fry yourself. No, we're not fully platform, keep going. Also interesting is an off indicator like here at Darlow, because you can't actually, that signal is about there in real life, I think. It's a little bit closer in. So basically you can't actually sight it from the dispatch position on the platform. That 801's on its way out. Just currently standing up against the signal. But in simple terms at Darlow, normally, going southbound, you swing off the fasts into 1. So I've done this. I've been through the goods loop on the Flying Scotsman. I've not been in these platforms yet, but the inspiration train is on this platform, and I'm going there on Sunday. This platform I don't think I've taken yet, and you can access coming up northbound. You can come across either through here, and this is the most common route, or sometimes if there's a train in this platform, which happens rarely, usually it's a disruption kind of day, you get a train dumped down, you then get put down the back, and you swing over across this junction here. And now we've got quite a bit of time here at Darlow from memory, so we've got another 4 minutes. Yeah. So I'll fast forward time, and I'll see you guys a little bit closer to departure. Right, so got back to hello, 10 seconds till departure. So pop our door up and stand in the doorway. We'll pretend. Oh. Right, we'll say that was 2 dings. So you got the northern, and now notice the so got the crack landing at west. We've got that for most of the northern fleet now. I think it's no, we've got the full northern fleet. I think the 151 potentially don't yet in Trains and Classic, but I use the 150s because they don't really go west coast. Like sort of Yorks, South Yorks, where they tend to cut out a bit more. So you've got the Tampa over there, that's standing in for the Network Rail mobile maintenance train. So they basically have a train, which is a 3-car train. One's a driving car, which has sort of got an engine control compartment in it. The middle is a work car, so basically there's no actual floor in it. So there's some steps down to the track. You walk along the track, then climb back in the other end. And then there's the other driving car's got like a welfare section in it. It's quite cool. Basically means like if you were going out at night needing to say mend a rail, like mend a section of rail, park on a maintenance train, that gives protection because it's like around the track circuit, and then you can work in theory indoors, or much more indoors than you would in real life. We are 30, yeah, we're 30 in the section of our track, yeah, 30, thought so. 30, thought so. You can see the back of the train is flanging across now. So go for 30 and then it's up to 60 on the double track section for most of it. Now the one interesting bit of route knowledge I have for this section of the line, which I've not actually done in real life yet, obviously at Teesside Airport, Teesside Airport as the station is called, obviously the inbound flight path for the runway, don't know why I did the horn there, crosses over the railway, so there's basically a barrier erected so that if an airplane comes in too low, it basically trips the cable, sets the signals for danger. So the theory is in the event of a plane crash, or plane crashing onto the runway, you get a signal set to danger before anything's been phoned in. There you go. I'm going to go straight into full power on this section. I think it'll be quite fun. We'll wait for the full train to clear past it. So this is, like I say, our next segment. So this is past Eagles Cliff. We run along here. This, of course, quite a well-known bit of the railway now for train simmers. This is in Train Sim World, and it's been in Train Sim Classic a long time. Right, yeah, I just felt like an engine revving down. What should be the traction motor sounds. We are full powering along, absolutely hammering our way. Around to Eagles Cliff. Well, idle's fine. So first station we pass on the line here is Dinsdale. You can see we've sort of made it down this segment and we're going to run all the way to there. Dinsdale's always further along than I remember it being. It's like the one feature I have for Dinsdale is it's never as close as you think it is. I swear that every time we run in train sim, like the village comes out and picks the platform and moves it 100 yards. That'd be quite funny, wouldn't it? Now we are DMU, so we can follow 60. That's fine. In fact, I'll check this extra appendix whilst we drive. So, London North Eastern Sexual Appendix for September 2025. DMU. So, trains are national exceptions to local unit trains. 185 is not permitted to run at MU or DMU speeds. 390 not permitted to run at MU or EMU speeds. Class 253 or 254 or 253, I believe, with less than 3 coaches. So we are absolutely fine to stay at 60. But that's now a warning for 30. There is an extra thing curve that pulls us down, I believe. So, for example, there are permissible speed indicators with letters HST. That applies to class 91 with mark 4s and DBT. That's 158, 158, 168, 170, 171, 172, 175, 180, 220, 221, 222, 253, 254, and 373, as well as class X, 700, 717, 365, and 387. MUs applies to multiple units. DMUs applies to these multiple units. And we qualify, basically, for multiple unit rate because of what we are, even though we're technically local hold. Where else? So then DMUs, EMUs are actual multiple units. SP is Sprinter Series. That's 1550, 153, 155, 156, 158, 159, 165, 166, 168, 170, 171, 172. Interesting. I suppose the 165s are mechanically similar to the 158. Then CS, which is class 67 locomotives, look at when they run on the sleeper. Animals on the line notice to train crew signalling controllers when the rules and regulations require that train be cautioned because animals on the line, the procedure need not be applied for animals are not domestic, for example, dogs, deer, not more than 6 sheep. However, drivers are still required to make an initial report of the animals being on the line, and maintenance response teams mobilised to establish where the animals gained access to the line and where necessary effect repairs. Once a report is received from a driver, then a general call will be put out on the GSMR to all trains in the area. 60. It is definitely interesting. If you just Google sexual appendix, you can have a read through it. Have a read through the sexual appendix for your area. They do include interesting trains on there and interesting bits of information. So yeah, you've got all sorts there really. For example, so class 87 locomotives from 0001 hours on Sunday the 28th of July 2024. Class 87 locomotives are prohibited from being hauled, pantographed down or under their own power between Kettering North Junction and Wigston South Junction due to electrical clearance constraints. They've probably been dragged down there once that I can think of in history, like during one blockade. And do you know how many Class 87 locomotives there are currently running on the UK main line? One. It's incredible. Class 950, track recording coach, track recording unit, sorry, may be worked over all lines in Table A of the London North Eastern Sexual Appendix subject to following restrictions. Moorgate at Drayton Park, prohibited due to prohibition. Northallerton Longlands Junction to Newcastle East Junction via the coast. Speed restriction of 40 miles an hour between Queermouth and East Bolton. We can definitely take 60 now. 373 trains, routing and restrictions. North London Incline Line, Camden Central Junction to Copenhagen Junction, East Coast Main Line or Main and Fast Lines between King's Cross and York. Also on goods, so goods and passenger loops between King's Cross and York. Fern Park carriage sidings, Fern Park North Junction, Peterborough to New England North, Eastfield, South End, basically Eastfield Depot, so they can go through there. Between Lowersall Car Junction, Holgate, Marshgate Junction. So basically, again, 373s haven't run the UK mainline in years. This was last update. Apparently, it was updated in 2024 for some reason. Restrictions. Speed shall be restricted to the low of 125 miles or ultimate line speed, except between a couple of locations where they get restricted. That's interesting. And max 60 if any trailer vehicle suspension deflated. Route restrictions. So York. So all movements are prohibited beyond the platform starting signals at the north end of York Station. That's interesting. So you see they're not allowed north of literally York platforms. Oh crap! I've got the brake dragging. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you focus on bloody. So this is Teesside. So the approach path for the runway is hither. So I'm presuming like some sort of barriers that are like strings up here that would catch it in real life. There you go. Right, full power now. Get us up to 60. We're going to be very late now, and I apologise to Northallerton passengers. Eagles Cliff, I've not got a time point there, which is fine then. It'll be here this end probably. So has it been modelled? Any sort of? It'll probably be this. There's a chance it's no. It'll not be that. I'm talking twaddle. It'll be something like that though. Basically, if you come in too low, and then smack, but it just basically knocks all the signals to red in the area, or the two signals protecting. Yeah, that's fine. We definitely made 50 for the 50 post. Rest of my route object to patch it the further. Here you go. Yeah, that whistle as the brakes come, which is quite cool. Yes, I'm probably going to call it actually as we leave Eagles Cliff North. We'll go with the junction. We'll get a bit of theoretically red track. Actually, no, we don't get red track on this one. I apologise. My apologies. But yeah, I've actually got all the track sort of past the junction here. So yeah, I've got a decent amount of track, like just through movements. You know, I don't try for diversionary routes, but I just get put on them. It's whack. We're down at 30 a bit early, but you know what? Especially if you're not familiar track, I'd rather be down slow early than hammering in like I was before. So you've got 60 on to leave the station here. Just got to stop at the end at Eagles Cliff. So you can see we've put up our car just off the end and we're still not fully platformed yet. But I don't know how far you go into like agreeing where to like stopping points beyond the end of the platform. But yes, that is going to be the outro of my video. So thank you guys so much for watching today. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, hit the like button. Oh wow, we're already completed. So pull off, I guess, and end the scenario. So, like I say, thank you all folks very much for watching today. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe to see more from me on a very regular basis. And until next time, folks, bye-bye. And if you're hanging around to the end, that's fine. I'm going to be here too. Because I've got to drive this thing apart or something. Unless, of course, I just put it into full away. No, but I can't drive from the cab. Or be in the cab, I should say. You know what, guys? Since most of you are gone, it's got a bit stuffy in here. Let's open the cab door. Cab door doesn't contribute to interlock, so we can run with the cab door open and just get some fresh air in the cab as we hammer along towards our end marker, which is on the chord towards the Stockton line, towards the up ferry or the down ferry hill line. I see so trucks like that. I'm not sure if there'll be no further down. Shut on the bonnet or listen, they still don't have the be. But yeah. So I'll just trick it full power now. Oh, I had tried mode. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Would I do such a thing as that? But we're up at 50 now. 45. Be there in a jiff. Oh, we definitely got to 60 there anyway. Thank you for watching, folks. See you soon. Bye-bye.